What's going on, guys? King Raven here, coming at you with another video. Today I want to talk about a specific firearm, but I also want to talk about the type and some of the features that you can swap in and out with it. So we'll get more into that during the video, but before we get started in the video, let's do a quick wrist check. Today I'm wearing the Spinnaker Dumas with the tangerine dial. I love this angular bracelet. It goes and matches the angular case of the Dumas, and that tangerine dial with the blue hands, the little pop of blue, and then there's little blue markers that are next to the track. Yeah, I mean, it is just nice. I love it. Tangerine with that pop of that little bright blue. Spinnaker is one of my favorite brands. I have several of them, and this Dumas is just very, very nice. I love the way it wears. So I recommend them if you do not have one and you're looking for a good diver watch. So I have been a concealed carry permit holder since I was 21. I'm 42, so I've been doing this for 21 years, and becoming handicapped this year with my double above the knee amputation in March. I've adjusted how I carry, but I still carry every day. And I've talked about this in some of my other videos, and I'll get into other videos showing different ways that I carry. But today, one of the guns that I carry on a regular basis is what I want to talk about. And I want to talk about why I think it is a great carry gun and what changes you can make to make it an even better carry gun. So the gun I'm referring to today is the Beretta PX4 Storm SubCompact. But before we get into the video, just want to show everybody its safety check. It is clear. There is nothing in the chamber, so this gun is clear. It is safe. Gotta go ahead and just put it back in its configuration. So with the Beretta PX4 Storm SubCompact, the size of it is a 13+1, which puts it in the same size as your Glock 26. So it's not like a single stack slim. This is a double stack, but it's in that compact size like your Glock 26 is. The difference between this Beretta and a Glock 26 is this Beretta is hammer fired, a double action, single action hammer fired pistol, in where your Glock 26 is just your standard striker fire. So on the Beretta, the very first trigger pull is your long, heavy trigger pull like a revolver. But then after you fired your first shot, your subsequent shots, your hammer is back, and it's a very light, very crisp, easy trigger pull for those additional shots. So the safety is not only does it have a safety, but that long trigger pull. Getting into the safety is one of the modifications that I'm going to talk about. So standard configuration that this gun comes in is this lever decocks the gun and also puts it on safe. So let me demonstrate what I'm talking about. If the hammer is back here in the back position, like you've loaded around into the gun, but you want to carry it safely, which on these you would take the lever, and I'm doing it on this side, but it it's on both sides. It's ambidextrous, but I'm doing it on this side. You push down the lever, it drops it, so the hammer has dropped safely. And with the lever down, this trigger becomes inoperable. It actually disengages the trigger, and the trigger will not engage until this lever is pushed back up off the safe, and you would then see your red dot ready to fire right up in there. I don't know if the camera's picking it up well. This side, the red dot's a little, yeah, you can see it a little bit easier on this side because of that lever that's on the other side. So you can see that's in the fire position. Well, one of the drawbacks to a double action, single action with a safety lever, especially one on the slide, is during operation, if you have to pull it out, first thing you've got to remember, take it off of safety before you can use it. So that's one thing in a stressful situation, unless you have trained and have that muscle memory, which I do highly recommend. You must train with your firearms, but you have to remember, and sometimes you may forget, go to try to pull that trigger and you got a dead trigger, and then you remember, oh, I've got to flip it off. So you've lost some precious time in a stressful, could be in a stressful life-saving situation, whether it's your own life or someone else's. Another thing in operation, you could actually accidentally push that safety on and you're going to fire, but you've knocked that safety on, you've decocked the gun, and now you have to completely go through the cycle of, let me flip that back off the safety, and then try to go with your first long single action. And when seconds matter, sometimes very few seconds matter, that can be an issue. That's why a lot of people carry the striker fire guns. Well, there is a very easy technique that you can do with these Berettas, especially the Beretta PX4 Storms, but you can do it with the 92s. The 92s, you can even buy what they call the G model, which is the DeCocker only. I have done this conversion for this Beretta PX4 Storm SubCompact. I'm not going to get into how you do it. You can YouTube how you make a Beretta PX4 Storm a G model, a DeCocker only. But that's the configuration that I have this. So what that means is, on this one, when the hammer is back, this lever that normally would be your decocker and safety, it is a decocker still. It'll decock the gun, put it in that. But when I let off this lever, instead of staying in safe, it's going to pop back up. Okay? So the trigger is not dead. The safety in this is that first very long, very deliberate trigger pull, just like a revolver. And then your subsequent shots would be in that double action mode, to where it's now very light. Single action is what I meant. The first one's double action, but anyway, very light, crisp trigger pull. So with the benefits of it being a decocker only, is no matter if you bump it, it will not stay on safe. You'll have it back in ready position, and your safety is all in your trigger pull, just like if you were carrying a revolver. Not only does that prevent accidental bumps to put it on safe, but it is that initial, I've got to draw my gun, just like you would a Glock, a striker fire. You can draw, point, and naturally pull the trigger, and it will fire. There's not a external safety that you've got to flip off. Normally, this would have that external safety, but when making it a DeCocker, your safety's in that long trigger pull. Now, it's got drop safeties and other built-in safeties like your Glocks do and other Springfields, Smith & Wessons, etc. But with a double action, single action, when it's a DeCocker only, you've got your internal safeties and you've got your safety as that long trigger pull. So in a high stress situation, when you're having to actually engage with your concealed carry, you do not have to think about, hey, I've got to take it off of safety. I got to make sure I don't bump it on safety. It is a DeCocker. It will always stay, whether it's the long trigger pull or the short single action, you'll always be able to fire. And then once you are done and you need to safely put away, you can decock and drop that hammer like we've done right here. So if you fired and you now have to safely put your gun away, just decock, it puts it on that safe mode, and you can put it back in your holster. So it's a very safe gun to carry even in a DeCocker only configuration. You can't accidentally bump this thing. You have to deliberately pull the trigger. Just like if you were carrying a revolver. Same concept, except this gives you a 13 plus 1 capability, where a revolver you would be around your 5-6 shots on your standard 38 special 357, which is one of the most common carried size in a revolver. This is the exact same size category as would be like your Glock 26 or your Springfield XD in the subcompact mode. This one, this would compete with some of the more new hotness like the Hellcats and the P365. They're doing, you know, like 11 plus 1, etc., where this is a 13 plus 1. Is it a little bit thicker than those? Sure. Is it noticeably thicker than those? I don't think so. I actually enjoy that little bit of extra roundness. It really fills the hand, and when you're talking about a small gun instead of a long gun, you're going to have more recoil with a smaller gun. So that extra girth where you can really get your hand around it and get a good grip is very beneficial in my opinion. So what do you think about the Beretta PX4 Storm subcompact? What do you think about the DeCocker only conversion for concealed carry? I would love to know your thoughts. Please follow me on Instagram. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know if you want to see anything else or how I'm doing. I would love to hear your thoughts. Until the next time, y'all be safe out there. This is King Raven, and I'll catch you in the next video.